Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. In this video we're taking a look at the Avengers wave, the Puff Adder Avengers wave. More specifically, the EXTREMIS Armor Iron Man. Now this is an exciting one, let's be honest, this is a very exciting one because the EXTREMIS storyline was from the Invincible Iron Man in mid-2000s, 2005, 2006 type of time, and we finally got a new updated version of that armour. And it's really cool. If you're an Iron Man collector, we get so many different Iron Man suits. We get so many MCU and comic book Iron Man figures, but it's really cool to have something a little bit different to add to the shelf. Now the EXTREMIS suit is pretty cool. I mean, we did see an EXTREMIS suit in the Iron Man movies, but this is slightly different and obviously is part of that storyline that came out in the mid-2000s. But without getting into it too much, go and read it. Go and read the EXTREMIS story arc. It's very cool. Let's have a look at the figure. Now he does come with a couple of little accessories. Nothing huge. Comes with 2 blast effects. Now these are the standard blast effects that we've seen with so many Iron Man figures over time. They've not really changed the design of those. And he comes with 2 open palm hands. Now these little blast effects, like the others, just fit into the palm of the hand like that and give the impression that he's obviously firing blasts from his hands, or you can plug them into his feet and give him the power of flight. Now the actual figure itself is really interesting. It's completely pinless. It's got this really cool kind of glossy finish to it as well. You can get into a whole bunch of different poses, and I've really got 0 complaints. It looks absolutely spot on to the comic books. It looks really good. It looks different enough that it stands out on the shelf in comparison to the other Iron Man figures if you've collected a whole bunch of them. Yeah, it's really cool. Definitely worth picking up. Now, it doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece. This is the figure in the wave that doesn't include a Build-A-Figure piece, so you will just be buying it for the sake of buying this figure. Now, the articulation in the chest there, it's got a whole swivel in the chest, and then all the standard points of articulation in the shoulders, the elbows, the knees, the waist, the ankles, all the rest of it. So, yeah, you can get him into some cool poses. Now, on the back of the box, it shows him in kind of a superhero landing pose. And I've only played around with him for a little bit, but I'm sure we could probably get him into that. It's just a case of having a little play around and kind of bending things in a few different ways. But very quickly here you can see that you can definitely get him into some decent enough poses. And I'm sure with the addition of props and stands and stuff, you could probably get some really good photographs of him as well. Now I really like this glossy finish they use on some of the metallic figures, in particular the Iron Man suits, because it does give the impression that it's made out of metal. Now you can see the lights bouncing off of the suits in every single place. Every single bit of plastic is made the same, so it does give the impression of it being slightly metallic, which is a nice little addition. Now let me just put this open palm hand on. Now what's really interesting about these hands is they've also got a swivel in them. Do be careful of those shoulder pieces when you're moving it around. The shoulder pieces kind of overlap the top of the torso there, but it doesn't restrict the movement. They've kind of built them on the top of the arms. It doesn't restrict the movement, but it does bend it a little bit, so don't overextend it or hyperextend it or anything, because you will probably be disappointed because it'll probably stick over time. So make sure that you're not bending any of those shoulder pieces when you're posing them up. But yeah, these open palm hands, they're really interesting because they've got a swivel in them, so you can actually use them as an open palm hand and kind of get them into some more neutral poses, or you can use him like this and have like a blast effect coming out. Now, as you can see, I'm just playing around with him, and this is quite a vanilla pose, to be perfectly honest with you, but it does make him look cool. It does suit him. He's kind of doing a blast effect here. Now I will point out, if you have a look at the blast effect, it's got a slight little bend in it there. Now that's because of the storage. What happens with these sort of thinner pieces of plastic is they will bend over time if they're stored in a particular way. The way to get that out is to either heat it up a little bit using a hairdryer or run it underneath a hot tap for a little while, and then just kind of hold it in the position you want and then run it under a cold tap, and it will kind of reset the plastic, if you like. So if it has got a little bit of a bend in it like mine has there, and you want to fix that, that is a way of doing it. And it can make a difference. I mean, my eyes are straight away drawn to the little kind of hook at the end of it, and that doesn't really fit in with what the blast is supposed to be, so it's definitely worth fixing. Anyways, that's about it for the EXTREMIS Iron Man. My opinion, definitely worth picking up. A figure definitely worth picking up from this wave. If you're a comic book Iron Man fan, an Iron Man fan, or just a Marvel Legends collector, this is definitely worth having in the collection, and definitely worth picking up, because I don't think they'll do it again anytime soon, so get your hands on it while you can. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Of course, please do like, share, subscribe, and all of those things. I'll see you soon.